We talk all things mom, boss, and growing our businesses. Welcome to BizMomCoaching, the #1 channel where the real heroines, moms in business, support you through their journeys to help build your business. Here you will see that you are not alone in your business journey. Moms often have the exact same struggles, and we are here to support you. Subscribe and join our mom business community. We would love to network with you. Remember to watch until the end, when I will share how you can access the most effective ways to structure your online business to grow faster and have more time. Exactly what all us mom bosses yearn for. Let's get started. Welcome to BizMomCoaching. Today I'm speaking to business coach and digital strategist Brittany May from Simply Happy Life. She is all about working smarter and not harder. She helps women to streamline and create smarter systems to scale their businesses without putting more hours in. That is exactly what I believe in. So Brittany, I think your business name says it all, but please elaborate a little bit more on what exactly you do and how do you help your clients?
Definitely. Well, thanks for having me. And I help female entrepreneurs basically just streamline, strategize, and get to the bare bones of their business, both with what they love and thrive at doing, but also what brings the money in. And basically cut away all the fluff and give them that permission to say, you don't have to be doing all the things. Like, in fact, stop doing all the things, right? In order to grow your business in less time. So that's what it's all about.
Yes, and especially for moms, that is so important for moms to get that right. And so many moms are overwhelmed when they start their business journeys, and even so the first few years. So it is so important to have someone to guide you on this journey in order to get that right so that you can flourish in your business and be available for your kids more. And I love that you help moms and female entrepreneurs, to have more time.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like so many, it just like breaks my heart when you hear moms that are really passionate about something, but they're like, I don't have enough time, or I can't do that because I have to take care of the kids. And they're faced with that. I think so many women are put in that position, whether it's self-imposed or otherwise, but where we feel like we have to choose between following our passions or taking care of our family. And I just wholeheartedly believe and know that you can do both, and want to help more women be able to see that and achieve that.
Exactly. And I think if you know how to manage your time properly and you can create that more time for yourself, it eliminates so much of that mom guilt that so many of us has felt before, and so many moms continue to feel on a continuous basis. So your business caters for that pain point so perfectly, and it's awesome to see more moms serving other moms the same way.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, we definitely speak the same language.
Definitely. So many women start a business that sprout from their own experiences and journey. Was this the case for you, and where did your journey start?
Yeah, absolutely. Had you told me I was going to be doing this 5 years ago, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. But it definitely came from my own experience. I've always been an entrepreneur because my dad actually, but I started my first business when I was, I think 19, 18. Yeah, and it was actually in fashion design industry, and I wound up running my own chain of brick and mortar stores. Had 6 of them, and this was before kids, before I was married. So it was just me, and all I did was work. And I loved what I did, so I told myself that it was okay, but I literally did not have a life other than working. And so then enter my oldest daughter, who is now 5. It really it changes everything when you become a mom, and your whole priorities, like the second they arrive, you're like, okay, like this is not what life is, it's not what it's about. And you still can be super passionate about it, but your family, I wanted my family to be first, and to be there for those milestones and memories. And closing the stores late at night and holidays and weekends because retail never sleeps. I was like, this is not gonna work for me. And it was truly, I transitioned that entire brick and mortar business model to online. And it was through that very rocky, crazy transition that then I fell into being a digital strategist and basically helping other women skip that messy step and get it right the first time, or help them, with their first business and realize that you don't have to work around the clock in order to have a thriving business, that you can streamline and delegate and automate and all the fun stuff and create smarter systems essentially to have the business that you love, but not sacrifice your quality family time.
Yes, I totally resonate with what you're saying. And I think that our journeys, it forces us to figure everything out. And if you can use that knowledge to serve your client base and other moms and other entrepreneurial women, then why not? It totally has such a massive purpose that it serves, so much bigger than just us or even just our families. I think the ripple effect goes so much deeper into so many other women's lives. So it is actually our obligation to serve them and, to give them that gift, because it's not necessary for everyone to go through that journey of struggling to figure everything out if someone can show them the way.
Right. Yeah. I wish I had someone that was like holding my hand through that process, because I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah, I definitely, and I love what you said. It truly is. It's a ripple effect, because then if we help and serve other moms, and it affects their kids and their families, and then they serve other clients and it impacts them, so it's really cool.
Yes. So what do you love most about having your own business?
Oh goodness, that's a good question. I would say, just honestly, I don't know. I think I like being the boss. Like, I like that there's no rules, and like you can do anything. And someone who's like, well, because when I transitioned my first business, we had an office, we had a warehouse, we had stock and inventory, and it was to run a retail company, it has to look like X, Y, and Z. And I love, as an entrepreneur, we get to say, well, why? Or what would it look like if I did this? And that's like, I love that. And I think that's what I love digging into my clients' businesses as well, because it's like getting to solve a puzzle. You get to figure out, like, here's how you want your life to work, here's your business, how do we fix these and put them together? So I think that's what I enjoy the most.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and I think you help people to be more flexible so that they have the lifestyle that they actually yearn for and that they want to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like you go to school and university, and we are just ingrained with the 9-to-5 mentality and like climb the corporate ladder, and this is the only pathway to success and to a career, and I think so many people then take that mentality and try to apply it to their own business, and they are left with the cookie cutter thing that they're trying to cram their life in, and then they're frustrated, and rightfully so, Yes. And so I think it's so much fun to be able to be like, nope, no rules, like put your life first, and then let's build your business around it.
Exactly, and it's awesome if moms especially can escape that, like you say, the cookie cutter type of the structure that is given to them in the school. And so many people, like for myself, I know I've always known that I don't want to work for a boss, and as soon as I got out of university and I did my first job, I knew I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life, and I wanted to start a business. But so many people find themselves stuck in that realm for so long, and it is awesome if they can escape and start their own business and take it from there and live the life that they want. So when I chat to mom bosses, I always have to know how they integrate their businesses and their family and personal life, because it is something that we as mom business owners just cannot escape. We have to make that work. So what do you do to make that integration work in your own life?
Yeah, I would, I guess the best way I could describe it is it's very fluid. Like my family will always come first, and my kids are, I mean, my youngest is 5 months, so she has no idea what's going on. But my oldest, like they're very involved and they know what I do, and they're a part of it. Like if you're in my groups or in my membership, like they're in the videos with me half the time, and my clients know their names and we know their kids' names because I'm working predominantly, not all, but mainly with moms. And it's, I've gotten on sales calls before and they're like, I'm so sorry, apologizing because they have a kid in the background. I'm like, you're a mom. Like, don't apologize for being a mom. You can be like an amazing business owner and a mom at the same time. Like, it's not mutually exclusive. So yeah, it's very integrated. And honestly, it depends on the season of life, because like my youngest is 5 months, so kind of going through the teething phase and what have you. But right now it's like I wake up, my early mornings is really my work time, and then we go to the park because I've got both kids home with me right now. And we play, take a lunch break, sometimes take a nap, hang out, and then maybe take a couple calls, and then we're done for the day. So it's very fluid.
Yeah, and that is so ideal. I think so many people would love that, but they just don't know how to make that happen, and they feel so overwhelmed, especially if they are trying to grow a business and they feel like they can't integrate. Like you said, I really love what you say, that you'll bring your kids into the business, because I think that is quite difficult. I saw in my own business, always stress if the kids come nearby, like you say, when you're on a sales call or if you are on interviews or stuff, and the kids come and they just want to see, they're curious to know what you're doing, and you get stressed out. And at the end of the day, it is okay. It is like you say, you are a mom and they are part of your life and they're part of this whole business journey. So why not embrace that and bring that in? And I just love that you pointed that out. I think that is so important, and I think we can all relax a little bit more about that aspect.
Yeah, definitely. I think it goes back to the, what we've had put in us and ingrained, and it's like the buttoned up corporate culture, and it's like, you're your own boss. It doesn't have to look like that. Like, things don't have to look pristine and perfect and polished, because honestly, that's not real life. So like, just be you and serve your clients and show up, and things are going to be good. And a lot less stressful.
I agree, and I think most people actually understand so well, even if they are not even a mom themselves. They understand if your child comes and joins you on the call or something, because it's just not possible to be everywhere at once when you have a business and you also have small kids, especially when they are very young. It's just not possible to always separate them.
Right. Yeah, and I think we should break the stigma. It's okay.
I agree with you fully. Time management, organizational and business systems often go hand in hand. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much has the implementation of these helped you to gain clarity, focus, and control within your business?
Oh my gosh, like off the charts, 11. Off the charts. Obviously, I'm a systems nerd, so this is where, you can probably agree where we totally geek out. But yeah, I think it's what we've been talking about. It's absolutely essential that if you're a mom, if you're a business owner, I mean, you're a partner, a wife, a sister, a daughter, that you have to get crystal clear and cut the fluff, get super focused on what needs to get done, give yourself permission and grace to drop everything else, and systems. I mean, systems are what have saved me and what allow me to get everything done that it needs to be done, so they're absolutely crucial.
Because it gives you structure, and actually what to do, when, where to take, where to leave. And I think that is where a lot of the overwhelm comes from, is if people don't know what to do, when to do it, how to prioritize, and in what sequence, so it can become so confusing. And if you've got a proper system integrated into your business, it just helps so much.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, because I feel like so many women, they feel like they're overwhelmed and they're stressed and they feel like they're spinning their wheels. But if you really ask them, well, what have you been doing? Well, and it's a lot of like getting caught up in their own thought process of like, well, what should I be doing now? And they're hopping from one task to the other without really completing anything. So when you like streamline and have systems in place, that cuts all that out, and then you'd be amazed at what you can get done in a lot less time.
Yes, and also overthinking. I think, as women, we tend to overthink things so much. Whereas if we just jump in and do it, we figure out that it's not actually so bad. It's just to figure it out and to know what to do. That helps a lot.
Yes, I love that.
The entrepreneurial journey really is never ending, and there will always be something else, that needs figuring out, or where we can better our own journey. Where do you feel that you maybe also fall short, or what you would like to improve a little bit in your business and in your own entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like, honestly, I feel like every time you're like, you level up in your business and you're like, oh yeah, I got this, then literally it's like you fall face first into the next thing that you have a problem and need to overcome. So honestly, yeah, like self growth and awareness is probably my number one. I'm always my own bottleneck. I'm always, like if something's not progressing, it's me, like it falls on me every time, and so it's just being aware of that and doing the work and the growth and the mindset issues or whatever your hang up is. I think I'm always going to be trying to grow more and get better at that as I go.
Yes, and I think that, that is exactly the same for everyone. That is always something that every entrepreneur should keep on looking at, because there will always be some room for improvement. So how do you invest in your business, and do you invest in business support at all outside of your business, like for instance help with the kids when you need to work?
So not with the kids, but we actually, that's funny that you asked that. As of this morning, we are looking into seriously getting an au pair, which would be a live-in help, for those of you that don't know. But we haven't taken that step yet. But yes, huge an investment. I wholeheartedly believe, like, I bootstrapped when I made my first business. I was 18, 19, fresh out of university, and had like 2 pennies to rub together. So I bootstrapped everything. But once you start getting that income in your business, you have to invest in yourself and in your business. I hire out coaches, strategists, VAs, team members. Absolutely. I invest in all of those, and every single one has been hands down an amazing investment. Like, it might hurt a little bit, especially in the beginning, and you're like, oh, I don't want to let that go. But every time you do, like, it opens the floor to give you that space to really hone in on what you're good at. And, we can't be amazing at everything. So outsource that stuff and get help.
Yes, exactly. I think that it's so easy to want to hold on and keep that control, and at the end of the day you're not doing your business any justice. Like you say, you as the CEO needs to be in control of driving the business forward and focusing on those tasks that is going to accomplish that. Whereas if you have a gazillion other things to do in your day and you don't outsource and give that to someone else to take care of, you are going to run into some problems. And I'm all for first trying everything yourself, figuring it out yourself, so that when you outsource, you know what you are actually expecting of the people you are outsourcing to. But at the end of the day, you really need to narrow down to those CEO activities that you as the business owner can take your business forward. And also, that is now with regards to the business functions. But if you look at, really love what you say about the au pair, because that is exactly what I do. I think you need to really outsource within your business, but also in your family life, to make the business go forward. So what we have done is I also have an au pair because I homeschool. So I do a little bit of the homeschool, but I get the au pair to support me with that so that I can come and focus on my work and also get the business growing while they are being taken care of. So I'm so excited for you that you are looking into that option. And for me, it was also hands down a really great step to take, and it took so much pressure off of me. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, we might have to chat about that offline. Yeah. But I'm just so excited about, that we're talking about it, because and even that, because I think, again, the mindset issue before we talked about it, it was like, oh, well, I want to spend more time with my kids, but having an au pair would actually allow me to do that. It's just like in business, because then I can have concentrated time where I'm not being interrupted, and then I can finish even faster.
And then the tasks that don't need that concentration, you can do that while your kids are around you. But for that type of focusing tasks and the things that you really need to concentrate in order to get your tasks done, it is really important to have that quiet time as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So what would you say is your why, your purpose, and the ultimate inspiration to keep you going with your business?
Yeah, I would say two things. It's my kids. I've got 2 daughters right now, and I think just setting that example for them and letting them, they see that I work, and they see that I get to be home with them, and just giving that new reality, and letting them know that that's possible. Because when I grew up, things and the age times are changing as well, but it was very different. It was like, okay, you get married and stay home, or you're corporate and you don't have kids. And it's like, there could be a third option. Getting to show them that, and getting them to showing them that if you go after your passions, like, you can do it, and you can do anything if you put the work in and work hard. And then also my clients, I love all the women that I've gotten to work with, and just seeing them do the same in their own businesses and impacting their oon families and lives. Like, that just lights me up and makes my heart happy.
I think if you've got that bigger purpose, like you say, your kids and your clients, the impact that you have on them, and like you say, for your kids to show them what is actually possible, I think that is the biggest gift of all that you can give with your business. In your experience, what social platform have you used most successfully, and what would you recommend to female business owners to grow their businesses?
Sure. So Facebook for me, and actually next quarter I'm looking into diving into Instagram. So maybe you can find me on there.
Okay,
I've been having fun on there. But I always say that it has to, 1, be where your ideal clients are hanging out, and 2, it has to feel good to you, because like I said before, Instagram, like, it was just pretty pictures to me, but it didn't feel right for me. And I know my clients are on there, but it didn't feel right. So, like, why force something if it doesn't come naturally, And now my mind's kind of changing, so I'm gonna check it out. So stay tuned. But Facebook, like, that's where it made sense to me. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It felt easy. And I had clients on there, so that's where I went. But I think it's just has to feel right for you, and I would go all in on one platform, because there's no need to be everywhere.
No, I agree with you. It's better to be focused, and on one platform, and make a good success out of that platform at first. You can always expand later on, but many people, they're trying to get clients on all these different platforms, and they never really get to a point where one platform, or it takes them much longer to get to a point where that specific one platform really grows and has that big impact on the business. So I really agree with you. I think people and clients need to focus on where their ideal clients are, but also especially where it feels good and right, and where you feel your business can gain the most for yourself as well. So moms have many additional challenges to business owners who don't have kids. What is the number one thing that you would suggest to any mom entrepreneur to implement into their business sooner than later in order to grow their businesses faster, to have more time?
I feel like I'm biased, but systems. Definitely systems.
The
like
truth.
You're right, like sorry, but it's true. But yeah, if you're already overwhelmed and stressed and just can't get a handle on your schedule, then systems have to come first. Otherwise, you're just constantly going to be treading water and spread too thin. And then you suffer, your business suffers, and your family suffers. So it's not good.
Yeah, I totally second you on that one, and that is exactly what I preach and what I agree with. So I am just as passionate about everything your business stands for and what you teach your clients, and I feel that your services covers many important aspects that brings all these separate business elements together to help moms' businesses grow effectively, especially because they have more time. So where can people find you?
Yeah, sure. So like I said, Facebook is Simply Happy Brittany. Instagram, depending when you hear this, maybe I'll be hanging out on there, no promises. Also Simply Happy Brittany. And then my website is simplyhappylife.com. And I'll let you can share it with your audience later, but I'll put up a free training for them if they're interested.
That would be awesome. That would be very helpful. I would love that. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate your time. I know mom's always busy. So like I always say, I appreciate the time that you took to quickly chat to me and to share all your insights. It was really awesome to talk to you. And I love your business journey and everything that you stand for.
Likewise. And thank you for having me. And it was so fun to connect with someone who just is as nerdy about systems as I am.
Mom entrepreneurs need to work smart and structure their business effectively more than anyone due to business and life with kids often overlapping. A business that is well structured enables moms to focus and progress better. All the complex parts within the business are properly clarified and systemized. When all parts work according to a plan that brings results, it eliminates the overwhelm and it makes projects and processes within the business easily manageable. It means growing your online business faster, more effectively, and leaving you with more time for the things that matter to you. Isn't that what moms need most? Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you for watching. Until next time.